Welcome to Identifying Emotions. Identifying emotions is part of self-awareness, the category in social emotional learning. My name is Brenda Day with Access Counseling Services. So why is identifying feelings so important? Well, identifying feelings increases self-awareness and self-management. One of the first steps to becoming self-aware is being able to identify and understand our feelings. Supporting and helping students to identify and label their feelings allows them the time and the space needed to better understand themselves and to manage their behavior. So, what do students need to know? Students need to know that all emotions are okay. There are no bad emotions. There are only good and bad ways to express or handle emotions. Emotions come and go and can be intense or mild. Sometimes we're a little bit happy, sometimes we are ecstatic and thrilled. Students need to also know that sometimes we have more than one emotion at a time. The movie in the background, Inside Out, is a great example of how emotions can come together and be complicated. Sometimes we're not just angry, but we're really angry and sad, or we're happy, but maybe that's a happy and bittersweet emotion. Students also need to know that emotions give us important information about ourselves and also about our environments. Emotions can be felt in our bodies. This is another important thing to pay attention to, as sometimes it can be hard for us to describe how we feel, but we can maybe describe what we're feeling in our bodies. And even for some cultures, they might not say an emotion, but will say, I have a headache or I have a stomach ache. So it's important to pay attention to how emotions are connected to our bodies and felt in our bodies. In these next slides, I will be including resources for students at the elementary school level, middle school level, and high school levels. For our elementary school students, there are many books to support students in learning to identify emotions, and not just happy emotions, but sad, anger. There are great books dealing with grief and sadness. Very cute books to help normalize that everybody has many emotions and that those are okay. And a lot of them are also connected to behaviors to help kids understand how to help manage those feelings as well. So very great to be able to use those at the elementary level and really beyond. Some other activities and resources for elementary school students include a feelings chart. Using a feelings chart to start the day or to talk about feelings is a great visual tool for elementary age children. It really helps them to put a face to the emotion and help make sense of just how varied those emotions are and how faces are. Or maybe the student recognizes the face but can't put the emotion to it. So this is a great tool. The second resource is a game called The Many Faces of Billy. In this activity, it's about identifying feelings and emotions, and students will place Billy in the correct scene per his emotions. So the kids really get to choose where they're going to put the character and what's happening in the scene, and you can see if they're congruent or not. It could be fun if they get them mixed up or are being silly, but it's a fun way to connect with the students. The third activity is a worksheet, How I Feel. It's about identifying the feeling and then also what is happening and what one could do about that emotion. So you could pick, you were feeling mad because you got teased on the playground. What could I do? I could get some help. This is a really great worksheet for kids to see not just emotions, but how it's connected to behaviors as well. Activities and resources for middle school students. Identifying and validating emotions. This packet includes activities and scenarios to discuss with students, a chart, and definition cards. So this first section is really like a really nice packet for teachers to use with students. The definition cards are a little bit more complex adjectives or emotions. And the scenarios are great to discuss with students. They could probably even be acted out in the classroom to further discussions. In the second activity, identifying feelings and where we feel them in our body, really talks to what I mentioned earlier, how feelings are connected to our bodies, how we feel them in our body. And sometimes when we can't identify the feeling, we can talk about what we're feeling in our bodies and to help us get to what emotion we're experiencing at the time. When we're angry, we tend to be stiff. Some people ball their hands into a fist. Their backs might be straight. When we're happy, we're relaxed. We feel light. We feel lightness in our hearts. And so very different type of body reactions with emotions. Lastly, activities and resources for high school students. Here I've included a feelings wheel. This feelings wheel is great for middle school students as well. It's a great resource for emotional identification, helping us to move from a basic description to a more accurate understanding. And the second activity is journaling. Writing down our feelings and experiences really help us to be more self-aware. What is happening around us? How did you feel about it? How did you respond? Do you wish that you responded a different way? How could you respond the next time? Feelings are also complicated. Some feelings are cover emotions. Anger is often a cover emotion felt by many. Sometimes is a way to feel powerful when really we feel belittled, embarrassed. So this feelings wheel, once again, is a great tool to be able to just give to students and have as a visual aid. Thank you for joining me for Identifying Emotions, Social Emotional Learning in the Classroom.